guys, it's Benny. Did you watch the Steve Bannon, Jeffrey Epstein interview? 2 hours of Jeffrey Epstein answering questions on camera as he was being PR prepped by Steve Bannon. Anyway, I watched the whole thing because I've never really seen a long-form interview with Jeffrey Epstein. I barely heard Jeffrey Epstein talk at all. And he sounded dumb. And maybe it was something that, like, he was just putting it on, but he sounds stupid. Like, he doesn't sound like a bright bulb. He sounded like a dumb person. And he had bad answers. And it wasn't particularly riveting because he was, like, kind of stupid. And that's what the people that knew him best said about him. I mean, a lot of these emails, you know, back and forth, you have some of these physicists, people like Jeffrey Epstein, clearly he couldn't write, he couldn't spell. You could see how he wrote in his hand. Like, it's, I mean, he wasn't a smart cookie. Like, something strange is going on here. He wasn't the mastermind. Virginia Roberts, who was the chief whistleblower on the entire Epstein operation, said that Ghislaine Maxwell, in fact, was the brains behind all of it. Her father, her creepy-ass family connected to Israeli intelligence and so on, utilized Jeffrey Epstein. It's a kind of a blunt instrument. And the guy was stupid. Ghislaine was the brains. Ghislaine's the one in jail. What does Ghislaine say about Jeffrey Epstein from jail?
No, he didn't. I don't believe he did. I believe that he was murdered. Well,
when asked about whether Epstein killed himself, she goes, no, he didn't kill himself. He was murdered. You know who else says that? You know, if you're looking for, like, people who understood Jeffrey Epstein and his motivations, Jeffrey Epstein's lawyer, Alan Dershowitz, told me that Epstein was killed. About the official Epstein story for a long time.
I'm not a skeptic about the fact that he didn't do it alone. He could not have simply killed himself alone. If he killed himself, it was with the assistance of some guards. And some guards have been disciplined for turning.
So the guards turned off the cameras. Who was watching Jeffrey Epstein that night? And more importantly, who determined his cause of death? You know, broken bones in the dude's neck. You know how impossible it is to, like, break bones in your own neck? And especially when you're inside of a prison like this. You know, have you ever seen this? This is crazy. This is footage that was taken. I think it's, like, totally illegal, but is inside of the correctional facility there in Manhattan. And if you're a keen observer, you'll notice sort of the guards station there, the L-tier cells, and they walk up and they walk into Jeffrey Epstein's cell where he was allegedly murdered. I say allegedly because who knows? Jeffrey Epstein's still alive. I mean, everything's been a lie so far. They said that nobody entered the L-tier at all. But you can see clearly on the footage that somebody did enter the L-tier. Somebody entered here. Well, look at this. Look at that door. I mean, listen, man, you ain't getting in there unless you have the keys. You know, it's not like another prisoner got out and, like, was able to wiggle the locks. Somebody gave him the keys. Somebody from the inside had assistance, Jeffrey Epstein. And you can see here, like, look at how would you even kill yourself in a cell like this? You would have to have so many linens. You would have to have so much assistance to kill yourself in a cell like this. There's 7-foot tall ceilings. So it's cramped. I'm 6 feet tall. I'd be ducking my head getting in there. The bunks are 4 feet tall. Can't hang yourself off the bunk. It's like the whole thing, you know, it's just like a teeny little box. That's it. That's the whole cell. How would you ever kill yourself in a cell like this? Look at the roof. You ever seen the ceiling? This is fascinating. Right? Anything to hang yourself off there? No. It's a cement block. You got nothing. So then how, like, if all of these doors, which are really like quite industrial style doors here with multiple locks, who controls the locks on the doors? Anyway, it's something that has been, of course, a lingering question. Here's the photo of Jeffrey Epstein's cell where they found him dead. You can see all of the, like, insane amount of linens that were brought in the alleged noose, LOL, that they've never recovered. It's all a lie. It's being proven a lie now. Eyewitness Epstein's post-mortem, his death, has to be reinvestigated, says Dr. Michael Baden. Dr. Michael Baden says that the pedophile's suicide actually didn't happen at all. Dude's alive. He actually watched the autopsy. He was present. And he says, no, man, this guy didn't kill himself. Dr. Epstein's post-mortem says the pedophile was strangled, not hanged. Jeffrey Epstein was strangled, not hanged. He was in the cell by himself, so how's that possible? New York prison cell, according to the doctor present. Michael Baden called for the cause of the pedophile's death to be reinvestigated almost 7 years after he was found unresponsive. He is unconvinced by the conclusion of the New York medical examiner that the American billionaire, took his own life. My opinion is that the death was a strangulation, pressure rather than hanging, he told the Telegraph. Given all the information now available, you have to reinvestigate. The doctor did not carry out the postmortem himself. He was present during the examination, acted as an observer on behalf of Epstein's family. At the time of the autopsy was done, the medical examiner, we both agreed on the basis of the autopsy report, the information available, that more information was needed to determine the cause of death. Following the release of more than 3 million documents, now he's saying, you got to do it. Dr. Michael Baden calls the cause of the pedophile's death to be reinvestigated because he broke, like bones were broken in his neck. A little over a minute after this, video outlines a prison guard approaching the desk near Epstein's cell. 6:30, just 10 seconds later, person makes his way to the cell. A little over a minute after this, the guard can be seen moving back and forth between the security desk, shortly joined by others. Guards can then be seen running between the two areas. Epstein was officially declared dead at 6:39 a.m., abruptly halting one of the most coveted, closely watched federal criminal cases in recent memory. Newly released files, investigators noticed orange shape moving up the staircase towards his cell the night of his death. Of course, the FBI had a press release that was written on August 9th, even though he died on August 10th. And even the FBI's own investigator says that there was a flash of orange, could possibly be an inmate or somebody else being escorted up to the steps, but we were promised nobody went into or out of the cell tier. Again, even one fracture, we have to investigate this as a homicide. This warrants a full investigation. There were 3 distinct fractures in Epstein's neck. Baden says, 50 years of reviewing prisoner's death, he's never seen 3 neck fractures from a hanging suicide. They ruled it a suicide. She wasn't even at the New York's chief medical examiner ruled it a suicide by hanging 5 days after Epstein's alleged death. She wasn't even at the autopsy. The noose was made of orange bed sheet found in the cell. Official report that it wasn't used for Epstein's death. The marks on the neck didn't match the material. Guards moved to the body. They refused to show how it was found. They moved him to the infirmary instead of treating him at the crime scene. Look at that. Look at this. Oh, here's his noose. Yeah, got it. This broke 3 bones. You know how hard you know how impossible it would be to break 3 bones, to like break bone after bone after bone and keep going? No, dude, it's impossible. And look at all these cameras that they turned off. There's cameras everywhere. Cameras in the cell, cameras everywhere. Even 60 Minutes called BS on this. 60 Minutes called BS. Yeah. Epstein autopsy shows 3 broken bones in his neck, consisting with strangulation. Dude, even CBS News. Do you know how impossible it is to break that bone by trying to hang yourself?
No. Does it point to a homicide? No. But it gives the medical examiner a little more information about exactly what the manner of death is.
The New York City Medical Examiner's Office has completed the autopsy, but not yet released its findings. However, federal officials said he died by apparent suicide.
It's all coming unraveling, man. They tried to cover it up. It's all been unraveling. Dr. Baden was on.
If you wouldn't
Dr.
mind just
Carlson's
summarizing
show.
for us what we know, or what you know about Epstein's death.
Well, I was present at the autopsy, and there were 3 fractures in the windpipe. that are much more typical of crush injury from homicidal strangulation than from hanging. There were petechial hemorrhages in the eyes, again, more typical of homicide. And the ligature imprint on the neck didn't match the ligature that was present in the cell made from a sheet. So I thought that made it more likely that this was a homicide than a suicide. But we never got to find out how the body was found. Was he found hanging or not, for example, because the two guards were sleeping through that time. He was dead for a few hours before he was found. And the two guards never made a statement that that was released as to how the body was found.
Enough lies, you know, enough. I will vote for anybody that will just like straight up come clean about all this. Right? You should vote with me by like, sharing, and subscribing to this channel. It's your boy Benny. See ya.